For more on Super Tuesday, we're bringing in Niall Stanage, White House columnist with our partner, The Hill. Niall, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you, Natasha.
Okay, so Niall, we are also watching, as Emily was just saying, this potential Supreme Court ruling coming down on the Trump ballot case. What kind of impact could that have on Tuesday's primaries?
I'm not sure that it'll have a huge impact on the primaries because I think, frankly, the former president is extremely likely to sweep these primary states. But the Colorado case is plainly an important one. It was the position adopted by Colorado that the former president was not eligible to be on the ballot here. Now, that was stayed pending the outcome of court cases, etc. I would say, Natasha, that when the Supreme Court justices heard oral arguments, they seemed pretty unsympathetic to Colorado's case. We had conservative justices and some liberal justices suggesting it wasn't really viable to have individual states decide to kick off people from the presidential ballot.
And Niall, Nikki Haley still taking swings at Donald Trump, speaking to NewsNation's own Chris Steyerwalt on The Hill this morning, and pointing to voting demographic shifts in battleground states as a reason to pivot. Let's take a quick listen together.
A bright light. They were winning seats up and down the ticket. They had passed right to work. They were like being hailed as an amazing state. I was just there. Since Trump took office, since he became president, they've lost the governorship, they lost the state house, they lost the state senate. From there, I went to Minnesota. The exact same thing happened. This is the fact that everything Donald Trump does, he loses.
Is there merit to this claim, or is it too late to even point this out?
Nikki Haley has been making a habit of making that argument. She makes it almost every time a microphone is pointed in her direction these days. It is true that in opinion polling looking to November, Nikki Haley defeats President Biden by a wider margin than former President Trump does. It is also true that the former president's electoral record is not, in fact, that great. He lost in 2020. He'd lost the popular vote, though winning the Electoral College, in 2016. So the argument empirically has merit. The problem for Haley is most Republican voters aren't buying it because they look at polls that show the former president beating President Biden, albeit by a narrower margin, and they prefer to take their chances with him, it would seem.
Yeah, Niall, I do want to ask, Donald Trump is zeroing in on President Biden, meanwhile, in regards to the border, but doing so, making unfounded claims about the president. Let's take a quick listen.
The Biden border bill would turbocharge the invasion, the continued invasion of our country. Biden's conduct on our border is by any definition a conspiracy to overthrow the United States of America.
So Niall, quickly, this seems like another example of Trump taking an insult leveled at him and throwing it right back. But could this type of conspiracy talk really sit with his base?
It'll sit with his base, but it's not true. So, you know, the argument that it is a conspiracy to overthrow the United States is completely exaggerated. The kind of hyperbole that the former president specializes in. Immigration's a stronger issue for him than it is for Biden, but that sort of language is not rooted or tethered to any kind of fact or truth.
Niall Stanage, always appreciate the real talk, context, and time. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.